Hi everybody, how are you today? I got up this morning and I went outside and the sun was out and it just made me feel so good to be outside and to have the sunshine. So I hope you're getting the chance to get outside today. And I hope you're getting to do some things that you normally don't have time to do, because sometimes our lives just get to be so busy and so scheduled that it just feels like we don't have time to do fun things or explore things that we are interested in. So I hope you're getting to do that. So today I'm going to read another book. I've been reading you books about God and how we experience God and maybe names for God and how God works. So God is a hard concept. So this is something that would be probably a really good family conversation. So today I'm going to read In God's Name by Sandy Eisenberg Sasso. And Sandy Sasso is a rabbi, which is a cool job. And another day when I read, I asked you to find out what a rabbi is. And I hope you found out. So I'm still not going to tell you. So I hope you'll have that conversation. This is illustrated by Phoebe Stone. In God's Name. So this starts, there's a page that says, "The voice of God is in the uniqueness of each and every person, the Holy One. Do not be confused because you hear many voices. Know that I am one and the same." After God created the world, all living things on earth were given a name. The plants and the trees, the animals and the fish, and each person, young and old, had a special name, but no one knew the name for God. So each person searched for God's name. The farmer, whose skin was dark like the rich brown earth from which all things grew, called God source of life. The girl whose skin was golden as the sun that turned night into day called God creator of light. The man who tended sheep in the valley called God shepherd. I wonder if you've ever heard God called shepherd. Oops, I'm skipping a page. The tired soldier who fought too many wars called God maker of peace. The artist who carved figures from the earth's hard stone called God my rock. Sometimes the people who called God by different names were puzzled. They said every living thing has a single name: the marigold, pansy, and lily, the oak tree, sequoia, and pine. God must have a single name that is greater and more wonderful than all the other names. Each person thought his name for God was the greatest. Each person thought her name for God was the very best. The farmer who called God source of life said, "This is the true name for God." The girl who called God creator of light insisted, "This is the most splendid name for God." The shepherd, soldier, and artist believed they each had the perfect name for God, but no one listened, least of all God. And so each person kept searching for God's name. The woman who cared for the sick called God healer. The slave who was freed from bondage called God redeemer. The grandfather whose hair was white with the years called God ancient one. The grandmother who was bent with age and sorrow called God comforter. The young woman who nursed her newborn son called God mother. The young man who held the hand of his baby daughter called God father. And the child who was lonely called God friend. All the people called God by different names. They tried to tell one another that their name was the best, the only name for God, and that all other names were wrong. But no one listened, least of all God. So each person kept searching for God's name. Then one day, the person who called God Ancient One, and the one who called God Friend, the one who called God Mother, and the one who called God Father, all the people who called God by a different name came together. They knelt by a lake that was clear and quiet like a mirror. God's mirror. What do you see in that mirror, in the mirror of the lake? Then each person who had a name for God looked at the others who had a different name. They looked into God's mirror and saw their own faces and the faces of all the others. And they called out their names for God: Source of life, Creator of life, Shepherd, Maker of peace, my rock, healer, redeemer, Ancient One, Comforter, Mother, Father, Friend, all at the same time. At that moment, the people knew that all the names for God were good, and no name was better than another. Then all at once their voices came together, and they called God One. Everyone listened, most of all, God. Wow, I hope you like that book. This is such a beautiful story, and I think this is such an important time of learning, and I hope you learned something from this. You may know people who call God something different than what you call God, and that understanding that all of those names are important and they all mean the same thing. They all lead to this divine source that we have that is with us always, and who loves each of us all the time unconditionally. So I hope you enjoyed this. And I have an assignment for you. So another time I asked you to think about all the people you know who are having to go to work, like in hospitals or in any kind of a medical setting where they maybe are working really hard and seeing lots of people. I'm wondering if you could do a job for me. I wonder if you could think of those people and make a list of those people and maybe draw a picture and draw a picture thanking them, like a really cool picture, like this book has beautiful illustrations, something maybe like that. So maybe you could draw a picture thanking them, or maybe think about being at Midweek Missions where maybe you think of something simple that you know you can draw really well, like a heart or a peace sign or a rainbow, and write thanks on it, or we love you if you know that person really well. And maybe you could take a picture of that and have your parents send them an email thanking them for all their hard work, because think of all those people who are working so hard right now to take care of us, people who are big helpers. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you'll keep watching these videos and having conversations with your family. So I will see you soon.